Nice to have you here tonight for a special live stream of Dark Side of the Ring. It's the first time I'm doing this. I did a video a while back for Dark Side of the Ring. It was for Chris Benoit. So this is for the season finale for Owen Hart. So how's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? My name is Johnny Boots. What's up, Dan? What's up, Jacob Dozier? How's everybody doing out there? This is going to be on Vice channel. Okay, he's on Matt's channel. Okay. I got to tell Matt. Siobhan Kerr. $25 points to Siobhan Kerr. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that, Danny. Yeah, I told Matt to mod it because he's a lot more tech savvy than I am. All I know how to do is log on and go on, but he knows all the backstage stuff to all this stuff of YouTube. Have you guys heard that Joe Rogan said he's leaving YouTube? Joe Rogan will now be on Spotify. Day 77. 25 points. You're on my tablet. Matt is on my TV. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know, Dan. Yeah. Well, I heard that YouTube was jerking him around, Dan. With they were messing with his videos, demonetizing some of his videos, and he was losing some money. So then he got contacted by Spotify, and Spotify says, you know what? We're gonna have you. Hey, look, it's Bushwhacker Luke. We're gonna have you full-time, multi-year contract on Spotify. Spotify is cool. He has already some comedy things on Spotify already. What the hell? Matt is streaming. What are you doing? Well, he told me to stream. Oh boy!
He Parmesan straight out of the oven.
That looks good.
Oh, you did a great job with that.
Oh damn! Yeah, I ran out of sauce though.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Yeah, I should have got another jar of sauce. You want grated cheese on top?
No, we don't have any.
Oh.
I used it for this.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Want water?
No.
You got the water?
Yeah, I have water. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Made some eggplant. I'm always eating. I just worked out. I just worked out myself. Yeah, I was working out. Cardio. Cardio is tough. What's up, Dave Horner? Horner. There's a documentary on YouTube and a bit or something. Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube and like when it's over, like in like 45 minutes. But if you want, you can stay by me. I give you play-by-play. Right now, they have Jake the Snake, the Bushwhacker Luke, and Animal talking right now. This is very interesting. Telling about a story that they threw a guy out of a bar. I heard the last night's stream. It was horrible. It was no good. So I'm probably gonna delete that from my YouTube account. Yeah. Somebody came on and was saying they weren't somebody, and I did not like it at all. I got a headache from it. Jake the Snake looks great. Jake the Snake's got short hair now. Looks good. Signature mustache. Looks like he's still doing the yoga. Yes, he did mess up the stream with the hacker stuff. And he's one of your moderators. Matt told me he took care of it already. I don't know why he's still here. I don't know what. I don't know. Fuck. What can I do? I can't do anything. Let's see here. I could do that. Yeah, it's the best I could do. Makes you feel a little bit better. Eggplant Parmesan. Here it is, Owen Hart. Get ready. He died in May of 1999 too. This is the season finale, ladies and gentlemen, of Vice. The season finale. I remember watching this pay-per-view with Matt Troyce and Poppy. It was in the late 90s, 98, 99. And we didn't see it happen. All we saw was a ring. We saw people in the ring, and somebody was in the ring, down, and they got him out of the ring right away. And then the ring was blank. There's nobody in the ring, and there's no sound. They're just filming the ring, empty ring, 20 by 20. Then they cut to Jim Ross and Jerry King Lawler, and it says, unfortunately we want to tell you that Owen Hart has died. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, this is a joke? Like, what the hell is going on here? But this is true. This really happened. And then they said the show must go on. And we watched the rest of the show. And we looked at Poppy, and Poppy was very frustrated, very frustrated. You know, he was very amped up, and he was like, he was getting his clothes ready for work the next day, and he says, "I can't believe that fucking shit. Owen Hart died. Owen Hart is dead. The Rocket is dead." And we were in shock. I couldn't sleep that night. Me and Matt and I couldn't sleep that night. Right, days I would have stopped it. Anybody would have stopped the show right then and there. It was a very sad day. Yeah, Owen was very entertaining. It was always, you know, very funny to watch. Very prankster. You know, he was, you know, he was getting a little bit older, but he was still entertaining to watch. And yeah, we couldn't sleep that night. Of course, Bret Hart. You know, I think he sued the company. Him and his and Owen's wife. They really went after Vince for that, which is rightfully so, because you know, Owen Hart, he fell 80 fucking feet, 80 feet, 70, 80 feet, free fall. Imagine what was going through his head. I mean, when I was in the Navy, I've jumped off of high landings, and you are thinking in your head, "I'm still falling. I am still falling. When am I going to hit?" That was going through his head. That was going through his head. And what was also going through his head was probably saying, "Is it gonna catch me? Like, is it gonna?" Because he thought he was hooked up. He's like, "Is it gonna hook? Like, what the fuck's going on?" And then boom, hits the frickin' mat. That's right, Dave. He was becoming himself. What's 7 times 7 plus 7 minus 7 divided by 7? I don't know. What we gotta do math problems here now. 7 times 7 equals 49 plus 7 . 56. I was thinking it was 7. Minus 7 divided by 7. Yeah, 49. It's 7. I'm not asleep. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's playing like 2 shows at once, and the volume is not picking up 2 shows. I'm not asleep. I am energized. Especially now I got my vegetarian meal. Eggplant. I'm watching you on an old phone, Matt on the new phone. This one is Danny. No, I'm not vegan. I used to be vegetarian though. Are you vegan? Yes, I did, Dan. Yeah, I got the box. Thank you so much. I filmed it on this device here. I'm gonna upload it right after the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the box for the items. Poppy is going to be in the video as well.
Owen, he was like laying in the ring.
Yeah, what do you mean Owen just fell? Owen just fell. Yeah,
This really ain't real. That's something's wrong. It was unnecessary. It didn't need to happen.
If someone doesn't just fall from the top of an arena, something went wrong.
Dark Side of the Ring. Season finale. Next. On Vice.
Matt gave me the thumbnail.
Welcome back to Dark Side of the Ring After Dark.
Veggie and vegans are healthy lifestyles, longer lifespans. I heard this, yes.
Road Warrior Animal, Bushwhacker Luke. Now, Luke, in the break,
You
said
like the dagger, over 80 years old, from my dad's collection. I inherited all his blades. Wow, yeah. Poppy loved the dagger. Yeah, it's sharp.
But I booked him. I said, Hawk, you come down, but you got to speak distinctly.
Yeah, it was a nice dagger. Yeah, I put that on the video too. Poppy wanted to take that dagger.
Well, it was a 4-day show, 4-day weekend. Anyhow, get to the end of the tour. By then, he looked like he'd been in a war.
That was an old dagger.
When he got home to Dale, when he got back to Dale, Florida, she looked at him and said, what the hell happened to you? And he says, oh, it's real down there. It's not a work. It's real.
Bushwhacker Luke still looks good.
He was telling the guys to put the cigarettes out on his forehead, everything. He'd sit there and you'd hit the
This is a channel airing the Vice show live.
Stop that bloody shit.
What's up, Mike Jerem? I do play-by-play. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome 7-2. Matt was right. I'm getting some people here. Huh? What's everybody doing out there?
He comes in front of you and takes care of business. You know, if you need anything, he's right there. If he loves you, he's right there, and he'll do anything for you.
Tell Matt I can't do trivia with him.
When he's like that, you can't stop him.
Can't tell him you can't do trivia with him. I'm on the phone.
Hawk says, well, look at that. Wow, this. Everything, and there's no stopping him.
No second or third gear, man. It was just balls out 24/7.
Changed the name on his old phone like Kenny did, yeah.
Overdrive, you're right, man. Overdrive.
Pretty sure Owen had just bought a house. He had been spending a lot of time working on it, and it was supposed to move in shortly after that pay-per-view.
Was a golden age of tag team wrestling.
In interviews, he saved his money. So, wow.
that had these battles that looked so
Oh,
brutal.
Siobhan here.
Just
Poppy
one
is not here.
sentence, what you
He
think
was.
of facing all
I
of them.
visited him at his
Cool.
room.
Road Warriors versus the Steiner brothers. What's it like in that ring?
Dog eat dog, man. You gotta fight.
They're
to
doing
survive.
After Dark now.
You
They're
turn
gonna
your
be
back
in the
and
next
just
2 minutes. They're
don't
gonna
look
have
at
the
the
new
Steiner brothers
season
eye to eye.
finale of
They're gonna snatch you and
After
throw you.
Dark
The
of
Nasty
Viceland.
The Nasty Boys, known to be legit tough guys, beat up Ken Shamrock. What's it like in there with the Nasty Boys?
We had great
Talk
matches
about-
with the Nasty Boys, man. That Nasty Boys were
What's it like with
probably
the
one of the
Nasty
most
Boys?
underrated tag teams in our business, and they were tough. They were tough. They were big. They both were like 320 pounds. They were big, huge, big, massive humanity in the ring.
All right, I want to thank everybody for being with us tonight. But before we go, a sneak peek at the next Dark Side of the Ring. This one focuses on the life and tragic death of a wrestling superstar from one of wrestling's most prominent families. I'm talking, of course, about the late, great Owen Hart. Take a look.
Owen Hart.
I remember hanging out with Owen that day. We talked about the match. We talked about the finish.
Godfather made him smoke
Normal
weed.
Stuff, hanging out. We were sitting in the arena, and he said that he was getting ready to practice one of the things, and he did that, and I watched him.
I had a feeling that day that Owen was not his normal, exuberant, enthusiastic self about what he was doing that night. And I remember saying something about, better you than me. I don't like heights. He said, I don't either. I think that he was a little concerned. And look, he's the one who's got to do it. There's nobody can do it for him. So there's no stunt double. There's a couple little things he said, and maybe more specifically what he didn't say, led me to believe that he's not totally down with this thing.
Cannot thank my panel enough. Luke, thank you for being here. Jake the Snake, what an honor. Animal, Joe.
He wanted to retire early, right?
Can I just get him?
Hung out early at the bar. That's Owen could go back to his room. He didn't want to spend any time. He'd rather save for retirement.
That's all I wanted. Stay safe out there, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey man, that's what you're supposed to do, man. Like when I'm at the comedy clubs, I try not to hang out at the bar. I do my
As a
set,
fan
go
of
home.
Owen Hart, pioneer of all pioneers.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew that this guy was going to make it. You can tell.
When I grew up, I wanted to be just like Owen Hart.
He was really the
Owen Hart, the Rocket.
Owen, he just had a very nice aura. He was
Last
full of
season, season
joy.
finale.
And he was cast in the role of a lifetime.
Owen Hart was a naturally gifted wrestler.
They don't air this in Canada, do they?
Dynasty, but he put family above all else. Despite his success in the ring, he was always searching for a way out of it. On May 23rd, 1999, during a live pay-per-view event, Owen Hart's hopes for a life after wrestling were tragically cut short.
Ladies and gentlemen, when
Nice to
you're
see you, Danny.
television, a lot of things can happen, and sometimes they are not good.
Is this really real?
Then I remember hearing a gasp from the crowd. It was shocking. Like, what do you mean Owen fell? He goes, Owen just fell.
There was Owen. He was like laying in the ring, like face up.
I just heard them screaming, saying it's not a fake, get a real EMT back here.
If he fell, he's got to be dead.
Owen Hart fell from the ceiling during an event
didn't
in
die right
Kansas
away.
City.
Someone doesn't just fall from the top of an arena. Something's wrong here.
He didn't die
Her
right away.
husband flew to Kansas City to go to work and never came home again.
Mere days after Owen's death, his widow Martha vows to uncover what happened that night in
Martha.
Kansas City.
There will be a day of reckoning, and this is my final promise to Owen. It was out of respect for Owen. I can't let everything that our life
There's his
was
wife right
just
there.
be all for nothing.
Dark Side of the Ring, the finale right here. Final days of Owen Hart. Hart Foundation.
From the earliest days of
There's
professional
Stu.
wrestling, it has been traditionally a family business. Few compared to the impact of the Hart family in Calgary, who has spawned generations of in-ring icons. Despite being the youngest of
Eric,
12
bring him.
siblings, Owen Hart was considered a true prodigy. But with the
Nice to have you here.
circumstances surrounding his
The
death,
Dark Side of the Ring.
he has become more complex.
Finale.
In this episode, his family comes together to share memories of the husband and father they lost all too soon.
I don't think you can talk about pro wrestling history and not incorporate the Harts into that conversation very early.
Good old JR.
Jim Ross, 2007 member of the WWE Hall of Fame, the NWA Hall of Fame, and the National Hall of Fame. And one of the athletes that I work with very closely is the late, great Owen Hart, one of the best.
Stu Hart had
One of
a
the best.
dozen kids, and all the boys became wrestlers, and all the girls grew up to marry wrestlers. So the extended Hart family was almost 20 people involved in the professional wrestling industry. I'm Jim Cornette for almost 40
Hey, Jim
years.
Cornette.
A promoter, a matchmaker, announcer, manager, historian, all things related to professional wrestling, and I also managed Owen Hart.
You did
The
manage Owen
family
Hart.
was almost a dynasty in wrestling because of the respect that Stu Hart had as a promoter and the fact that
You wanted to try me, Ridge. Why didn't you try me?
they were all good.
Stu Hart.
The Hart family, over a period of time, became one of the royal families of professional wrestling.
It was like a nice Sopranos. They didn't kill anybody, but they stuck together and they helped each other. And everybody got a chance to take the brass ring off the wrestling merry-go-round.
All of his sons began to want to follow in his footsteps. Bret Hart was obviously the biggest star worldwide.
The Hitman.
Some of the other sons, Ross and Keith, were stars as well. And then the son-in-laws, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So many of them got to be stars, and at one point there was a Hart family member in half the territories of wrestling. Owen was the youngest brother to get involved
Anvil.
in wrestling. But when he started, he was a prodigy instantly.
Jim Cornette, very
Owen Hart,
opinionated.
As a rookie, he was spectacular.
He is.
Acrobatics were amazing. He could flip backwards off the ropes. He could land on his feet from every direction.
I saw this guy do all of these things I'd never seen before.
There's Jericho.
Off of a guy's back. He had blonde hair. He looked cool. It kind of looked like a bigger version of Johnny from the Karate Kid. I just thought, I want to do this. I want to do it with that guy. And I used to draw pictures of me and Owen Hart as the tag team champions in Stampede. I just really was influenced by him.
You could tell
Wow.
Owen was
Chris
a
Jericho
natural.
would
You didn't have to teach him.
do
He already
animations
picked it
with
up by
him
osmosis.
and Owen Hart.
Thinking within hours of him debuting,
He wanted to be
was in
Owen
good
Hart.
territory.
Yeah, he
They could
wanted to
see
be a Hart
it.
guy.
Get him in the game.
He was trained in a dungeon.
Please, Owen, I'm gonna cut the tape.
Oh, hang on.
Well, why don't you say something to the camera, you egomaniac?
Oh, there.
I am Martha Hart. I'm a doctor for the University of Calgary and Alberta Children's
She's a
Hospital.
doctor.
I'm the founder of the Owen Hart Foundation.
Dr. Martha
and
Hart.
I'm
She's a
mom.
doctor, medical doctor.
That's my whole title. I started dating Owen when I was 15. For me, he was just very striking. You know, he had this blonde hair and really well built, and I thought he was a bit of a scrapper because, well, first of all, he was an amateur wrestler, but then as it turned out, you know, he's actually quite a gentle giant underneath. He was a really secure, grounded person. Even though he ended up being a very world-famous wrestler,
They were like
he
sisters.
didn't feed off of that fame. He really wanted to have this very normal life. He wanted to have, you know, a normal job. He wanted the white picket fence. Hi, Owen.
Hi, Martha.
What you doing?
I'm just walking with my boy, Oak here.
Owen was an amazing father.
He had a mullet
loved
there.
being a dad. Hi, Owen.
Good father.
My
Egomaniac.
childhood
Yeah.
was phenomenal. I loved every second. I'm Oj Hart, and
Oj Hart.
Owen Hart's son.
That's his son.
My mom's love for my father was unexampled. They had a love that could only get stronger with time.
He could be an actor.
I love trains. Trains are my favorite thing on earth, especially toy trains.
Oj.
Every year,
Oj.
a train show would come to Calgary, and I only wanted to go with Dad. And I remember he said he was going somewhere, like a big trip. But I think what he did was he actually rebooked it. That was him stiff-arming the show and saying, you know, kids come first. And this weekend I cannot miss, and this one's for my son. But I remember that when he was there, it was us there together. And
He
Mom
rebooked
and
it, huh?
Athena.
Athena, you like that? Yeah.
Him taking me to the zoo. That was like our thing. And I don't have very many memories, but
The
that's, like,
daughter,
one that's
Athena,
always stuck in me.
Athena
It's
Hart.
just- yeah, it makes me happy because the short time that we had together, that was my favorite. I went to school where my dad went to school.
She looks just
and
like him.
so everyone always knew me as like the wrestler's daughter.
Just like him.
Hey, Daddy went to
identical to Owen.
Owen loved the wrestling business. He wasn't a lifer like some of the other guys. He wanted to save his money, devote it to his family, and get out at an early age.
At the age of 23, Owen signs with the WWF, where his older brother Brett is
You were right. He wanted to save his money and get out at an early age. That's how you do it, man. It's not an easy business.
This guy comes to the ring wearing, I knew what Stampede Wrestling tights looked like. They had lightning bolts on the side and 3 stars on the ass. Except for he had a mask. I'm like, wow, I wonder if that guy looks like a Stampede Wrestling guy.
The Blue Blazer.
Bum flip. I was like, that's Owen Hart.
Owen had a great personality, but he didn't have a over-the-top personality that translated on television for the style of the WWE.
Yeah, they're like,
By 1993,
yeah,
the Blue Blazer
25.
is phased out.
They look about 25 years old.
Enters a storyline
Eric
portraying
Freeman.
Brett's jealous little
Yeah, I
brother
worked out today.
looking
Did
out for himself.
a lot of cardio. About an hour and a half of cardio.
Their feud builds
And
towards a highly
I visited
anticipated match
my
at
father.
WrestleMania 10.
And that's about it. I picked up a package from Danny. Filmed a video I'm going to put up tonight. And that was about it. I came back here and Matt called me up and said, you want to do the Viceland channel? For Owen Hart, I said, yeah, let's do it.
And he went along with it because it was really designed to help Owen. Owen wasn't over yet. He was getting there. He was en route. Brett was a star, arguably the biggest star that we had. So Brett doing this was really brotherly love. He helped his brother get recognized and get the spotlight on him.
Showing WrestleMania 10.
After his win at WrestleMania, Owen Hart comes into his own, achieving accolades beyond
Yeah, Owen Hart won
his
that match.
brother. But for Owen's family, his growing success means a more rigorous travel schedule.
You're welcome,
He
Eric.
was
Yeah, I'm
gone
trying to stay
over
busy.
250 days a year, and he would go 10 days on and then 3 days off.
Just on my way to go wrestle at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium.
It was just a revolving door of, you know, he was home and then he was gone and home and gone.
It's a rough life, but one day I'll have hopefully some money to pay for all the aches and pains that I've done. I can enjoy myself at home with my wife and family.
In 1997, Brett's controversial departure from the WWF to rival company WCW shakes up the entire industry. In an incident known as the
Montreal Screwjob.
Brett is stripped of his championship belt following creative differences with the company. Fans witness real-life backstage drama unfold.
97 when
as
Bret Hart
Brett
beat
is
the
left
shit out of
stunned
Vince.
on live television.
The Montreal Screwjob was a double cross on Bret Hart, and Bret was hot. He was mad.
Even though Owen didn't
Spit in the face of the boss, do ya?
or view of wrestling that, you know, Brett had, he knew it was important to his brother, so he knew his
I got
brother
one
was gonna be
person
crushed.
watching
So
me,
as soon as
alright.
that happened, he went right to the ring and told Brett, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It's, you know, it's all garbage anyway. But for Brett, it was a stab in the heart.
This thing was taking on a life of its own.
Don't worry about it. It's all garbage anyway. Don't worry about it. This is a beneath you.
To keep one member of the family.
The fact that we knew Owen was going to be a star, big star, not a star. He was already a star. But to get to the next level, we gave Owen a new contract. And you can't lie to people. So, we had nothing to do with Montreal. Bullshit. It had a lot to do with Montreal. Come on. But that's not bad. It's just what it is. We knew what we had, and he was so motivated from being Brett's little brother to being Owen Hart. And with Brett gone to another team, it helps facilitate that.
It has been said that anything can happen here in the World Wrestling Federation, but now more than ever, truer words have never been spoken.
Vince McMahon wanted wrestlers to start being actors at this point, and he couldn't understand why they weren't going along with it. Because the way that wrestlers had always been portrayed was you're not playing a character, this is you.
Surely the era of the superhero.
You're not playing a character. This is you, you motherfucker. Get out there and be you. Yeah, wear a towel.
Attitude era, they didn't know what to do with Owen because he was just a great professional wrestler. They kept trying to find something to plug him into. Well, let's get him in an affair with somebody. Deborah McMichael.
Owen was the one guy that was always pushing back. You know, I don't want to do this angle. I don't want to
Get involved
look
with
like
Deborah.
I'm cheating on my wife with Deborah.
It was that tipping point that we reached at that time between we're not going to use great wrestlers just because they're great athletes and they're great wrestlers. They have to be willing to put on goofy outfits and do skits.
Gotta be a skit. I am not a nugget.
So that's what when they came to him with a revival of the Blue Blazer as a comedy gimmick. Okay, sure. At least that's not going to make my family look bad, right? It's just stupid.
Blue Blazer.
You get one of the top 4 or 5 workers in the world, and you want to put him under a mask, an unknown mask, the Blue Blazer. Couldn't work. Bottom line,
Didn't
very
work.
simple. Creative couldn't find a better
No, put one on a
idea
mask.
to utilize
Didn't
one of
work.
the best technical workers in the entire world, and I found that to be embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. He just was making that money, man. He's had to make that money.
What Michael Jordan was able to do.
Gotta make that money. That's what you gotta do. Well, you know, maybe Owen Hart didn't have much of a personality. He couldn't figure out. He was not an actor. He didn't have any acting skills. A lot of these wrestlers should go to acting classes like they do today. Yeah. You guys want to do some trivia? What's up, Days? Yeah, that's right. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. Let's do some trivia. What part of Canada was Owen Hart from? Who are you, Jesse, Michael? No, we don't show the stream here. I'm asking trivia questions. No, I wasn't from Montreal. Not from Winnipeg. What part of Canada was Owen Hart from? Calgary. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Spelled it right, Days. Good. Good job. $50 points. What's up, Freebie 1975? Nice to have you here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button. Glad to see that you're commenting. Very good energy. This is the last episode of Vice. Dark Side of the Ring, Owen Hart. Name a title that Owen Hart held in the WWF. What professional accolades did Owen Hart have? You name one for 25 points. What belt did Owen Hart have? We're back.
Blue Blazer character. A campy superhero gimmick Owen Hart portrayed a decade earlier.
Take your vitamins, say your
Drink your milk.
They were also trying to spoof Sting, who was a wrestler in the WCW, and he would come down, descend into the ring. And so I think
They're
they
trying
were
to spoof
competing
Sting.
with WCW, and that was one way that they could
What
almost make fun of them.
what championship did Owen Hart hold in the WWF?
Was a top rigging company that had rigged
What type of title? What type of belt
Rolling Stones. They also
did he
worked
win?
with Disney
He won a few
and
titles
Las Vegas, so
and
they
trophies.
were really renowned. You know, Owen didn't have control over any of the stunt. He was
Freebie says tag team, but very good.
they call a locking carabiner, which
Freebie's on the board.
the only safe apparatus to
25
use
points. And if you like the stream, you go up to 50 points. And he also won a Slammy.
6 months later, the aerial descent of the Blue Blazer is revisited for an upcoming pay-per-view event called Over the Edge.
Owen was on his way.
I don't think he won the
He was just
Intercontinental
flying
title.
in, and I was literally just
He might have.
walking out the
I remember him
door
winning the
from
European
the
title.
airport when I got a call from someone that worked at the WWF, and they said, well, you know, we need to get his measurements for a vest because we're doing this drop-in this weekend in Kansas City, and we need to get his measurements ASAP. And
They're getting his
and I remember
measurements
thinking,
for the
just
vest
Adam, he was just
to
with you guys.
bring him to
Just
send
why didn't
him
you get
down
it? And I
for Over
asked
the
her
Edge.
that, and then she said, well, we just decided, we just wrote it in. So I actually asked on the phone about, you know, who'd be rigging him, and the girl on the phone said, oh, you know, don't worry, we have the top riggers from LA coming in, so don't worry about that. Yeah, it's totally safe. He never questioned ever his safety because he assumed that this billion-dollar company was certainly going to make sure that they hired the best in the business, which they did not.
Life on the road is never ending for Owen and his family. And on May 22nd, 1999, he travels to Kansas City for Over the Edge.
Kansas City they were in.
It was Saturday when he left. He was rushing out the door, you know, just embarking on another long 10-day journey away from home. He decided that he was going to take Oj to the airport. He'd pick up my mom. She'd drive Oj back to the house.
It wasn't very common where I would take Dad to the airport, but this occasion was different. And the last thing he said to me was
Ultramagnetic,
"Look
it's
after
real.
Mom. You take care of your mom. You take care of your sister." And
It's
then
real to
was
me,
walking
damn it.
his bag over his shoulder into the airport. I wasn't sure what that meant. Honestly,
Definitely, man. It's a real sport, you know. You get beat up, get your ass kicked.
My name is Jimmy Corderas, and I am a former referee.
There's Jimmy Corderas.
WWE. We got there, we set up the ring, we got our match assignments, which was Blue Blazer, Owen versus the Godfather. They happened to be together at ringside, and I went over and got with them, got the finish to the match, and that was basically it.
Wow, he was going to face
Business as usual.
Godfather for the IC belt that night. Wow. On that Raw.
I remember hanging out with Owen that day. We talked about the match. We talked about the finish. Just normal stuff, hanging out.
You got more eggplant.
And he said that he was getting ready to practice.
Eggplant.
I did that, and I watched him.
I had a feeling that day that Owen was not his normal, exuberant.
Yeah, sure you did, Jim Ross. Yeah,
About what he was doing that night.
he wasn't normal.
And I remember saying something about, you know, better you than me. I don't like heights. He said, I don't either. I think that he was a little concerned. And look, he's the one who's got to do it. There's nobody can do it for him. So there's no stunt double. There's a couple little things he said, and maybe more specifically what he didn't say, led me to believe that he's not totally down with this thing.
Yeah, would you be down being
5 people.
descended 80 feet in a big stadium in Kansas City? I mean, I know he did it before with Steve Blackman. He did it before, but it wasn't no 80 feet. It was like maybe like 40 feet, half that size. Oh, thank you, Day 77. Yeah. Student viewers off there, get that small bit down. You got any more eggplant over there, huh? Yeah, I got my plate here. I need some more eggplant. I'm starting to fall asleep here. Okay, let's do another trivia question as we wait. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do I get a tip?
What? No.
No.
I made the eggplant. That's your tip. Let's see here. What color was Owen Hart's hair? Owen Hart had a distinct color for his hair. Franks and beans.
There you go.
Thank you. That's good.
You want water?
Yes. It's happy for me. I don't have to do trivia. We're on a commercial break right now. Thank you for joining me. I'm having eggplant. Yeah, I'm tired. Kind of sore from the workout I was doing, bro, earlier. Freddie, got it? Freddie. Freebie. Freebie goes up to 50 points. Freebie 1975. Good job answering that question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Bon appetit. Bon appetit.
Bon appetito.
Manja gabagots. Good food makes you want to dance. Yeah, I feel good. I feel strong. Motherfucker.
Taking a seat at the table this week. American
Was that a Poppy? SIGGT?
Seat at the table.
What do you mean, like a signal?
Tomorrow at 10 on Vice.
On May 23rd,
There we go. Over the Edge.
1999, Over the Edge takes place at Kemper Arena in Kansas City.
Kemper Arena.
The event plays to a sold-out crowd and airs live to hundreds of thousands at home. In preparation for
Sold out
his
crowd. Everybody's
dramatic
short.
entrance, Owen Hart makes his way to the top of the arena.
That night, myself and Mark Henry worked Kane and X-Pac for the tag titles in the first match. And I believe Owen was like...
You little brown that fat ass.
I remember talking to Kane and X-Pac and seeing Owen walk by. This was before our match.
From the rafters, Owen changes into his blue blazer costume, and the rigging crew readies him for his descent.
What went wrong? What went wrong?
On the top rope, and I was kicking debris out of the ring, and I was moving towards the corner. At that time, there was a promo playing on the screen of the Blue Blazer.
Ooh, the Godfather. Just saying his name makes my blue blood boil.
Hanging in the air over 80 feet above the ring, he waits for his cue.
Over 80 feet.
Time for the entrances, and I'm
Eggplant.
looking at my
Eggplant Parmesan, baby.
Sudden Lawler gives me the elbow. I looked up, and I just caught Owen come into my line of vision. A blur. Poof.
And I thought I heard screaming, and then I felt something brush against the side of my head and my shoulder,
Feathers.
and at the same time, the top rope that I was holding pulled out of my hand and came back and like jammed my fingers. And I'm thinking in my head, what the heck was that? And when I turned and looked, there was Owen. He was like laying in the ring, like face up, and I just started screaming for help.
I thought he hit the turnbuckle or the ring post
That's right, Jerry.
because it really sounded sick. sick.
That's when, things kind of went sideways.
The Blue Blazer, as we know, as Owen Hart, was going to make a very spectacular superhero-like entrance from the rafters, and something went terribly wrong here.
I was watching the pay-per-view, as they did at the time, and then they go to Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler saying that Owen Hart has had a bad fall, or whatever they said, and we'll keep you posted. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
And they're not showing the ring. They're just panning crowd. What's going on?
Yeah, they were showing the crowd. That's right.
Something's wrong.
I was at the gorilla station behind the curtain, and somebody said, Owen fell. Owen just fell. And I went, Owen fell? What? He goes, Owen just fell.
I kept getting these alerts in my headset. We need another update, but I'm not getting any updatable material.
And JR's, filling time on live television while the guy's laying there in the ring dying.
Well, it's one of the most shocking things I've ever seen. This is not your typical wrestling storyline. This is a real situation.
He's watching him die.
I've never seen anything like that. Not on any wrestling program, not on any television program. It's never happened before.
It was Jerry Lawler who came back. He came through the curtain, and Jerry was as white as a ghost, and his exact words were, I think he's dead. And we're like, who? And he was like, Owen. And then it was just like,
Jerry Lawler back joining me here. King, I was just reiterating the fans, this is not part of the show. We're here to entertain and have fun, but this is...
Look how concerned Jerry Lawler looks.
no, it doesn't look good at all.
I knew something was wrong because Lawler, his face just became ashen white. Like he'd just seen death.
And they wheeled Owen past us to go to the ambulance, and that's not even an image I want to even bring up in my head anymore. That was not what I wanted to see. When they
wheeled him in a gurney there.
Curtain, they put him in the ambulance. I remember just being in shock. When they did wheel him back, he was like blue, and I remember that. And I remember crying too.
He was blue.
They didn't want to stop the show, so Jeff Jarrett, who was real close with Owen, did a promo, and he was in tears.
Owen Hart, I'm praying for you, buddy.
In the chaos, Kevin Dunn, the executive producer, thought that I had been told that what the deal was. And I said, Kevin, nobody's told us anything. What is the update? And he said,
Owen has died.
he's dead. And you're back in 10, 9.
And I have the unfortunate responsibility to let everyone know that Owen Hart has died. Owen Hart has tragically died from an accident here tonight.
On camera that people saw was the result of 10 seconds of preparation. Didn't know what to say. And it wasn't a storyline. I got very numb after that night. My hands were shaking. My stomach was hurting. I was damn, man.
That's right.
And they went on with the show. When Owen was shit. When Owen was falling, everybody that was there said the last thing that he yelled was, look out. A guy's fallen from 100 feet, and he knows he's done. And the last thing he's thinking is, look out, I don't want to hurt you. It was foolish, it was unnecessary, it didn't need to happen.
Oh my God. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Matt just got $80 worth of donations. That's awesome, man. Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us for quarantine, Hope you guys are being safe out there at home and stuff like that. Jim Cornette was saying that when Owen Hart was falling over like 100 feet, he was yelling. He was saying, "Look out! Look out! Look out!" Because he knew he didn't want to hurt anybody. He almost hit that ref. Wow, 4 different people donated. Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Matt told me earlier when I was going on my bike run, he was getting goosebumps about he had very good feelings about doing this live chat. Very good thing. He says, you know, it's going to be a great night, a big night. Something tells me it's going to be a really big night. Because we were very big Owen Hart fans. We were very big Owen Hart fans. Wow, that's awesome. Almost 30 people. We were huge Owen Hart fans, and then it was tragic. What happened to Owen? Pure tragedy. But it's so angelic that what was going through his head was not about himself, but about who else was in the ring. You knew this one would be a hard one, yeah.
Owen Hart was set to make a dramatic entrance from the rafters of Kemper Arena when something would go terribly wrong.
The phone rang and it said unknown caller, which was always like kind of code for like that's Owen on the road. And so then I picked it up in a hurry and I was like,
It's the police.
hello? And then, you know, I heard this voice like Martha and I said, Owen. And then he said, no, this isn't Owen. This is Vince McMahon. You know, Owen is such a prankster. And I'm like, oh, Owen. And he's like, no, it's Vince McMahon. And then he said, I'm calling you because, you know, I have to tell you that Owen's had a fall. Well, what do you mean? Like, how far did he fall? What's wrong with him? Is he conscious? Like,
Jim Ross said
was like,
he might have hit the turnbuckle.
I need to talk to somebody who's got some answers. And so then he said...
Then he says, I didn't like Owen. He pushed me once. I called him a nugget. And Cornette broke us up. Get the fuck out of here, Danny.
So the doctor, you know...
You nugget. I am not a nugget. I will push you. They're showing his wife right now.
So the doctor, he said, are you home alone? And I said, yes. And he said, well, you know, we should really fly you down to get this kind of news. And, you know, he was kind of going through all of these details. And then I said to him, you know, doctor, could you just get to the end and just tell me what the end result is? And he said, I tried. I did everything I could.
Your mom was taking pictures of it. That's amazing.
And he said, I'm so sorry, but your husband has died. And then I just...
They showed him in New York on the A train.
No. Not, you know, of course, all the no's in the world weren't going to change anything.
Whose belt is that, Alex? Dad's. What is it? What kind of belt? Champion belt. World Tag Team Champion.
My memory of May 23rd begins in my basement of my house. I was with my one neighbor and they said my mom was crying, really crying. And I was like, well, what is my mom crying about? And she said, I don't know why your mom's crying, but she's crying a lot. I went upstairs and I opened the door and I walked through the foyer into the kitchen and there my mom was screaming, what am I going to do? And I really did not have any conclusions drawn about why she was so hysterically sad.
And I just remembered, like, it was just such a moment of truth where I just, like, saw so clearly, like, there were just two paths in front of me. One total destruction and one of, like, reconstruction, you know, and I was like, I can't let this destroy everything that we worked for and everything fall apart. You know, all I could think of were Oj and Athena, because I was like, their whole lives are going to be different now. And
Well,
all
this
they have
them
is
at
me.
Niagara
That's
Falls.
it. They're 3 and 7 years old. So I need to make sure that, you know, somehow I survive for them.
Then, Mom has to take me upstairs.
Very independent
It's
woman.
bedtime, and we sit at the foot of the bed on the side. Nobody prepares for this, but she did it, and she said, "Your dad's dead." She said he's died. He fell, and he died, but he didn't feel any pain. That memory has played in my mind.
He died, but he didn't feel any pain.
I remember that night, all 3 of us slept in the same bed, and I just looked at the roof. I just looked at the roof, and I tried not to hear my mom sniffling. I don't think either of us slept that night.
Martha and her family begin to make final preparations as Owen's body is transported to Calgary.
I remember the funeral director saying, you know, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And I said, "Yeah."
They're transporting the
I'm
body
ready.
to Calgary.
As soon as he opened the door, I just remembered being absolutely horrified by what Owen looked like. I screamed so loud, and I tried to run away. And Brett just bear hugged me, and then we just sort of did this weird little like inch dance towards the casket. And then, you know, I just took it all in, and then I was comforted by his hair, because his hair was the same. And then I just thought, oh, you know what, like, the person that I loved in life, you know, I loved in death too. And then I just wasn't afraid anymore.
On May 31st,
She was afraid of the body because the body looked so
Owen
deformed.
Hart is laid to rest.
Owen Hart, known as the Blue Blazer in the ring, was killed last week when a stunt went horribly wrong at a match in Missouri.
Yeah, the kids are like 25 years old, maybe 24.
Politicians and a huge crowd of fans.
We were riding in the funeral procession, and there were Canadians pulled off on the side of the road, letting us pass like Owen was a head of state. It was amazing to see how revered he was in that town, in that country, and in our business.
There were so many people that came to the service,
His
and
father,
we didn't
too.
have room for everybody inside, but there were over 1,000 people outside of the funeral home just to listen. We broadcast it, we piped it out through speakers. I'm a very forgiving person.
They broadcasted it out through speakers.
Or angry. But there will be a day
There's over
of
1,000
reckoning,
Canadians
and
there.
this is my final promise to Owen. When you live in a world of make-believe and something so real happens, you want to hammer that home. Although I didn't know exactly what had happened yet, that I was going to get to the bottom of it and that I would have my day of reckoning.
Talking about Sue and Vince.
What Michael Jordan was able to do was take
All the Canadians let everybody pass through the cars. They knew who it was. They knew it was Owen Hart. Word traveled fast there in Canada. So if you just joined in, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Johnny Boots. I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, and professional wrestling fan, okay? So I do reviews and stuff like that, play-by-plays for sports as well. Wow, that's awesome. Matt just got more donations. That's perfect. Yeah, he deserves it. Matt deserves it. Matt was right. He said it. Something told him in his head that it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a good. It's going to be a great night for YouTubing, for live streaming. He said, make sure, I want you to be a part of it. I want you to join. That's why he gave me the same thumbnail. So thank you. Let's do a trivia question. As you wait for the show to come back on. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Freebie. Freebie goes up to 150 points. He's in the lead now, Freebie. Freebie 1975. Name a manager that managed Owen Hart. A manager that managed Owen Hart. Really? He's had a manager? Well, you know, when he was a tag team, you know, he was a tag team partner. Jimmy Hart. Did he? Yeah. Yeah, when he was teamed up with Coco. Coco Beware.
Piece together the events surrounding her husband's death.
I saw my mom transform into a completely different person, but she became a fighter. That means I have to go to Kansas City. I have to see the arena that he plummeted in.
We actually went up on the catwalk.
She needed to see it firsthand.
She went to the arena.
As hard as it was to know. And she had to go and take us so that we would never have to wonder. And that we would never grow older thinking, if only I'd known.
I really didn't want to leave any stone unturned, so I consciously chose to go on that catwalk and to walk to the exact spot where he fell. From my understanding, Owen had to make his way down that little catwalk to get to the point where he needed to be.
They show a police photo.
Right to the spot, literally right at the top of the arena.
And when I looked over that cliff, well, into the abyss down below, I saw distance between where we were and the ground, and knowing that he just, like, that he went out there. I can't even imagine the fear that he would have been feeling in those final minutes, like those seconds, but still not forfeiting the opportunity to bring us the life that we had. So, ultimate sacrifice.
It was, you know, very disheartening for me to know that that's
it's really the
last
tearjerker,
things
yeah.
that he saw, and how hopeless that feeling would have been to know that there was nothing you could do. Your life was over.
There was a stain in the ring
I have
where
all
he
these
hit.
suspicions
He definitely hit that turnbuckle.
Owen was the most cautious person I'd ever
He
known.
hit the
He'd never
turnbuckle.
take, you know, any sort of uncalculated risk. And how did this happen? There must be negligence. Like, you know, someone doesn't just fall
Negligence,
from the top
exactly.
of an arena and die, and something went wrong. Like, something's wrong here.
And so, what evidence did the Kansas City police
Suvankar,
brought everything in and they
the
put it
FIFA
on
game
table,
03.
and then we kind of went through everything slowly, and that's the first time that I saw the clip.
The clip.
This is some of the legal documents, and this is actually
The clip.
the clip that held Owen. This is the actual clip. It's a clip meant for the sole use of sailboats, and how it's designed is it's designed to release on load. So when you have a load on it, and then when you just
She's showing the
click
clip.
it, then it just opens. and it opens immediately because the design is to let the mast down on a sailboat. It's this quick release right here, 6 pounds of pressure to release it like that.
6 pounds of pressure.
It. This is what was holding him. This little thing right there. That's it. When I first saw the clip, the very first time, I gasped and I was so upset. It was just appalling. We looked at statements
For sailboats.
to really piece
These
together
fucking
what
idiots.
we felt Owen's last day was like.
Just hours before the Over the Edge pay-per-view event, Owen was approached by the riggers to rehearse the stunt.
They had approached Owen and asked him to do a rehearsal, and then he said, no, it's okay, I got it. Bobby Talbert said, well, but it's a different setup. And so Owen said, okay, to my understanding, they did it. I don't know to this day if they did it with the quick snap shackle or the locking carabiner. I have a sense that it was the locking carabiner because he didn't release himself. The way Owen had been rigged previously, they felt looked a bit clumsy, a bit sloppy, and what they wanted was this like quick release. Like as soon as you hit the ground, you just unrelease and you're ready to go immediately. And so that's what they wanted. It was to save like 2 seconds of the setup. Bobby Talbert should have never been in charge of rigging anybody. He had no experience.
Do you remember what you came to learn were the
Bobby Talbert.
instructions to Owen?
They said, as long as you don't pull this cord, you'll be okay. And he never pulled the cord. After I gathered enough information about what had happened,
They wanted to make it look more professional.
Absolute negligence involved, hand over fist. Everything was pointing in that direction.
With my full authority, my legal counsel filed a wrongful death lawsuit against WWF,
Wrongful
Vince
death.
McMahon, and all others I believe are responsible for my husband's death.
I was suing Vince in Kansas City, and he wanted the case moved to Connecticut because in Connecticut, there are no punitive damages awarded. He chose to sue me, the widow, which caused a lot of grief, and on top of it, he was manipulating Owen's family.
There were some people in the family that were for it, and some people that were against it when the lawsuit came up. I'm sure a lot of
He was manipulating
shock and
the family.
trepidation amongst the core Hart family that
Jesus
you can't
Christ.
sue
This fucking
the most
guy.
powerful man in wrestling
He
because
sued her,
their
too.
family life had centered around professional wrestling, and there were still a lot of other people in the family that probably thought that Vince McMahon was going to be good to them in the future.
The Hart family, they were not supportive of my lawsuit against WWF. Some members were silent, and then other ones actively worked against me, stealing my legal documents, giving them to the defense. So they basically had our playbook. So that was very heartbreaking for me, because
He stole her legal documents and gave them to
you
Vince.
don't have to support me, but please just don't work against me.
Well, it would appear that there were no precautionary measures taken. Why not?
First of all, I resent your tone. I resent your tone, lady, okay? This is a tragic accident.
Her fight for justice.
I resent your tone, lady. I resent your tone, lady.
I do think that the measurable
It's a tragic
neglect
accident.
that had to go into something so catastrophic cannot be overlooked. This tragedy is the magnitude at which it's at is because it was completely preventable. This was a guy who was 240 pounds. There could have been a rigging team that knew what they were doing, and they didn't because it was more expensive.
They were trying to save a buck.
Gather round.
These fucking
talk
Shylocks. They're Shylocks. Shylocks! They're trying to save a buck. We're going to hire this jerk off from Kansas City because he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's going to have fucking sailboat clamps attached to your back. It's going to save you 3 seconds when you get down there. Quick release. Here's you hit, you get up. You're released right away. Fucking bastards. Owen said, I'm good, I don't want to rehearse. I'm good, I don't want to rehearse. And he says, no, it's a different setup. It's a different setup. We're trying to save you some more time. So you're not going to have the mountain climber clamp that you're supposed to have tonight. You're going to have a speedboat clamp. A sailboat clamp. Just for you. You're 240 pounds. It's going to be perfect. Yeah, it's got 6 pounds of pressure. As long as you don't touch the other wire, you're fine. He fucked him. Now Owen's family was a lot of them were working against Martha, his wife, for the lawsuit. Because they figured this is our golden egg. This is our golden egg. You're not going to ruin our golden egg. There's going to be a lot more opportunities for us. There's going to be a lot more opportunities for us. You think, Danny says, he dropped Stone Cold on his head and cost WWE a lot of cash, so they took him out. Oh my God. In a mafia style, right, Danny? He fucked Stone Cold. He ruined his career. We're gonna, he cost us a lot of money. I heard Owen didn't even call Stone Cold when he did break his neck. You think this is extreme payback? It's extreme payback. I don't think so. I don't know.
Reached in the amount of $18 million.
18 million.
I didn't care about the money.
You got $18 million.
I wanted this case to go to trial.
Should have got more.
That was my biggest, thrust from start to finish, was that I didn't want a settlement. I was looking for justice. I was looking for accountability.
There's a video up there. Stone Cold cutting the wire.
Preserve the dignity that my dad had and give her kids the best life they could have.
The settlement provides some closure, but the WWF's decision to continue the show after Owen's fatal fall remains controversial to this day.
How did this happen? He didn't commit suicide. Was there foul play? Is it an accident? We don't know, so leave everything the way it is till we figure this out. No, we'll just go ahead and have 4 or 5 more matches. The thing that stopped Kansas City was bullshit.
The fact that Vince just discarded Owen like he was a piece of garbage and scraped his dead body off the mat and sent wrestlers out to wrestle on a ring where Owen's blood was, and it even had broken some of the boards, Owen's fall, so there was a dip in the ring and they could feel where he fell. The police should have stopped the show and they should have investigated immediately. This was a potential crime scene.
He broke the boards in the ring. And they wrestled like that.
There's nothing that I've ever experienced compares to Owen Hart's death and having to live with it every day since. It's the worst moment in my wrestling career. Maybe the worst moment in my life. Here's a vibrant guy that died unnecessarily before he could ever get to the peak of his career. Who had a beautiful family and a wonderful mom and dad who are so proud of him because the youngest Hart had stepped away from the pack and he made his own way with his own style, his own uniqueness, and they were all proud of him.
He was popular everywhere he went, kind of introduced this high-flying style
all
around the world. He was a pioneer. He could be serious, he could be funny, he could be a technician in the ring, he could be a high flyer.
You think there would have been a riot? They did pay a lot of money. They did pay a lot of money to be there.
Even though he was getting a little bit
disenfranchised with the rest of us. In acting too, the show must go on. In theater too, the show must go on.
Guerrero was there, Malenko was there, Edge, Christian, Kurt Angle. Owen would have had a huge career resurgence because I don't think anybody can keep up with him in the WWE in 1999.
We'll never know how great he could have been because he's just approaching that place when he fell from the skies in Kansas City. If a guy like me's in the Hall of Fame, there's no damn way that Owen Hart should be in 10.
Owen Hart should be in every wrestling Hall of Fame there is because of his talent and because he belonged there. But he's not in the Hall of Fame because his wife does not want him celebrated and glorified by the same company that took him away from her.
I would never allow for Owen to be recognized by a company that actually is responsible for his death.
I would never let WWE put his name on a piece of silver and say that they got that. We have built a foundation that helps put people in homes, that helps single moms like my mom was, that let kids go to school. This is all done in his namesake. This is all got Owen Hart written all over it. This is how communities, this is how people, society remembers him. And that's how we want it to be done. Yeah, he was a wrestler, but other than that, he was bigger than that. That was just part of what he was.
Well, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and we're very grateful that we are as fortunate as we have everything that we could ever ask for, and most importantly, our health and our happiness together.
I feel like if my dad had never been in wrestling, he'd still be here. And so I've always blamed like wrestling for not, like everything that's happened is just like all wrestling's fault. If it never would have like caught his eye, he would have done something else, and then we would have all been together.
And when I think of him,
identical.
I just think happy trails. And I would have really liked to have had you around.
Merry Christmas, Oj.
It would have been a lot of fun. It was fun. Thanks for that.
There was one person that always believed in me, and that was Owen. And I think he'd be so thrilled that Oj is a lawyer and that he's going to pursue human rights law, and that Athena's a journalism graduate and is pursuing that. When you lose someone that you
Journalism
love, because
graduate.
you still have all that
You're right.
love for them. I took all that love that I had for Owen, and I created the Owen Hart Foundation. Our message is that, you know, be kind to people. Life is hard, and everything we do through the foundation is a reflection of the type of person that he was. His generosity of spirit and the kindness that he exuded. So I think he would be, you know,
Yeah,
clapping and applauding me
it's definitely
up there in heaven.
emotional. Very emotional. So that's right, be as selfish as you can be, Danny. It's killing your sex life. That's amazing, yeah. Okay, we're gonna do some little quick. We're gonna do some quick trivia questions. They're showing. That's great. How is porn working in quarantine? A virtual rally. That's true. 55. Look at that sex life. That's true. Yeah. What was the name of the pay-per-view that Owen Hart passed away in? What was his last pay-per-view? Owen Hart's last pay-per-view. You don't need the little blue pill? Oh, that's great. Doesn't even work for Poppy, he said. Poppy says that he can't even, doesn't even work for him. It was tough to watch. SPM got over the edge. Nice to have you, SPM. Which have doubled to 50 points. You went up to 50 points just right off the bat. That was very tough to watch. Kingslayer, yep. Nice to have everybody back here. Yeah, it was a great documentary, but unfortunately, they say that Owen Hart will never be in the Hall of Fame because his wife doesn't want him to be associated with the company that killed him. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and Owen Hart does a lot of. They made a lot of foundations and charities and homes for single mothers in the name of Owen Hart. So that's a lot better than having him in a stupid wrestling federation, in my opinion. Yeah, it's tragic. Yeah, those days, very tragic. He was a very good wrestler, like very popular in my household. Yeah, I still have things of him. I still have things of him that has his name on it and signature. I still have things of Owen Hart. Yeah. Owen Hart was a I could show you. I have a few things of Owen Hart. I have at least one thing left of Owen Hart. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Owen Hart. Show you guys. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, this Owen Hart Matt Cap. Matt Cap Slammer right there, Owen Hart. It's called a Matt Cap and Slammers. This is from World Wrestling Federation 1995, and it has Owen Hart's signature on it. So you can see Owen Hart was a great household name in my family. So Owen Hart was a great magical performer. Very funny, interactive, and he would definitely be missed. But yeah, Danny, I'm going to be opening. I have the video going up right after this. So I'll put the video up right after this. Yeah, it was amazing to watch Owen Hart wrestle. He was a clinic. He would put on a clinic. Well, they used to say, like Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko. Before them, there was Owen Hart and Bret Hart watching WrestleMania 10. One hell of a match. Owen Hart pushed himself 110% every time. I mean, it's a shame that all he wanted to do was retire early. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go on Match Stream, and I'm gonna see what how's Match Stream going. Let's see, there's a lot of people there, huh? So if you want, you can follow me on TikTok at Johnny Boots 2020, Johnny Boots 1 on Twitter, Johnny Boots 1 on Instagram, and on my YouTube here. Freebie 1975 won it with 150 points. Thank you. I'm going to put his name up here on the board here. It's a freebie 1975. Oh. Freebie 1975. Thank you. You deserve it. Godspeed, Owen Hart. Great show. Great show. I thought they were going to be doing After Dark, but I guess they're not doing After Dark until next week. So maybe we'll do After Dark next week, Tuesday. We'll see. Well, this was the season finale. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for subscribing to me, Freebie. Nice to have you here, along with all the other greats of my followers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. From the bottom of my heart. Peace. Thanks, guys.